Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Corporate Restructures Part 2. So this is just following on from our webinar last month, which was more of a thought leadership sort of piece, just showing you how to do a corporate restructure. Today we're going to show you how to use an org charting tool, which we're going to show you Planit Work, which is our cloud-based org charting tool, how to actually go through a restructure. So today, just a bit of housekeeping to start off. If you need to ask any questions, feel free. You can do it in the questions panel, which is just at the bottom of your screen where it says Q&A. So feel free to type them in at any time during the webinar, and we'll either answer it as we see them, just by typing, or we'll answer it at the end because we'll have a bit of time for questions. As well as that, there is a chat function if you want to type to us there if you're having any issues with the Q&A. Okay, so our presenter for today is Grant Cumming. So he's our org charting specialist here at Navigo. So he deals with a lot of customers who are going through restructures and are looking for tools to help them. So I'll pass you over to Grant.
All right, hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar. So what I thought I'd kick off with is just a quick recap of some of the main or some of the key points from last webinar, which, as Ben mentioned, was more of a thought leadership webinar on how to go about a company restructure. So the three key objectives that I just want to recap on today is, first of all, the objective. So making sure that you have an objective or objectives in place as to what you are trying to achieve by doing this restructure. Secondly, the tools, so finding the right tool and hopefully not ending up with a room full of post-it notes. And lastly, collaboration, so how your team should work on this project together. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at Planit Work and specifically the restructuring module, which is part of Planit Work, which is called Plan and Model. Okay, so what we'll do just to kick things off is we'll run a quick poll. So what tool do you usually use to visualize organizational restructures? So if you could please just answer just with the one answer, that'd be fantastic. And just launching the poll now.
So we'll keep it open for a few more minutes just so you all have a chance to give us an answer.
All right, just about done.
Grant.
Yep, just about done. Okay, we'll just leave it for a few more seconds. Okay, let's have a look at the results.
Share.
Okay, so it looks like org charts is the winner, which is a fantastic result. Excel spreadsheets I predicted would probably be the main tool. And in regards to the other tools, I'd be very interested to find out what tools you're using. So. Oh, okay. So yeah, so Visio being that would, I suppose, be considered an org chart perhaps as well. So yeah, so no, that's good. That was pretty much what I was expecting. Okay, well, thank you very much for participating in that poll. Okay, so let's have a look at why org charts. Okay, so first of all, org charts are good because they do give you a complete view of your entire organisation. And they should also be a reflection of your source of truth as well. So in theory, your org charts should be a snapshot of where your organisation is right now. It's easy to see how restructure will affect your organisation's hierarchy with an org chart. And you can also utilise org chart reports or views to validate restructures, which is one area we'll cover today. and also the ability to export the restructured details to popular formats such as Excel once you've completed the visualization part. All right, so just a quick introduction to Planit Work. So Planit Work is the enterprise cloud-based version of Org Plus. Org Plus being probably one of the more popular org charting tools used worldwide, actually. So with Planit Work, you do have key metrics at your fingertips, and those metrics can actually be rolled out and be offered on demand to your entire organisation. You also have the Planner Model module as an option, which is a simple modelling and what-if planning tool. You can also manage succession planning as well, so there is a specific module available for succession planning visualization. Easy visualization of your organisation, which was covered. Best practice is to always have the org chart information current from your HR systems, which is another point we'll cover off on today. The fact that it is available via any internet browser, so you can access it anywhere at any time. And you've also have a few features within Planit Work to assist with data cleansing and keeping data accurate. All right, so let's have a look at what we need to do, the foundations that we need to cover to successfully visualize and validate a restructure using the Planner Model tool in Planit Work. So the first thing we want to do is we need to have a current org structure. So the visual up the top of the page is what we would recommend as a good way to manage your data refreshes from your source of truth. So we've actually developed adapters that work with some of the more popular HR systems. So what the adapter does is it will extract the fields from the different tables within your HR system. It will then populate a staging table, so it will merge all that data together, and then the adapter will automatically create a CSV file. That CSV file is then uploaded to Planit Work via SFTP. So even though it looks kind of complicated in that graphic, it's actually a very simple process. Down the bottom of the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, we've also got a screenshot from the admin section of Planit Work. So this really demonstrates how you can use Planit Work to schedule and completely automate the data refreshes. So in this example, we've set up the automated refreshes to happen on a daily. To happen daily and late at night. So that means that theoretically, when we come in the next morning, we open the org charts. We're looking at the latest information, and it has captured any changes that may have happened the previous day. And the next thing we need to look at is we need to look at creating relevant org charts. So the views window and Planit Work offer alternative views of your organisation. So views are built based on the fields that are being imported into Planit Work from your source of truth and provide HR views in a very visual, easy to consume format. So three views that we would recommend building to assist with the validation of your restructures are firstly span of control. So notice in the record we have a roll-up of headcount and FTE of Pat's team, the number of direct subordinates reporting to Pat, and the hierarchy level depth. We can also utilise conditional format, so in this case a red border, to give us a warning that we may have organisation imbalances. So criteria for these visual alarms are completely configurable according to your situation. The next view we would recommend is the talent management view. So in this example, we are visualizing performance and potential ratings for our employees. We can also utilize visual alarms for high or low performers based on either their performance or potential scores, or a combination of both. And lastly, the budget view. So this view gives us individual and team actual versus budgeted salary information. This view can be handy if we have budget constraints associated with our plan. So once we've created these different views, we can also utilise the profile window where we can add further calculated metrics over and above what is available in the org chart. So in this example, in the budget view, we've added headcount and FTE roll-ups and also average salary information. Right, so once we've got our different views created, which we're going to utilise to validate our restructure plan, let's have a look at the actual restructure plan module itself. So the Plan and Model module offers a data management area where we can save all of our plans in a single secure location. We've also got tools as well to enable comparing plans and also to find any conflicts between our plans as well. And we can also duplicate plans if we've set up a plan but want to run a quick alternative scenario based on that plan. So when we create a new plan, we've got the ability to name the plan, add comments, decide which part of the organisation we're going to focus on, and then we've got full control over who can view and or edit our restructured goals, and also full control over who can view and or edit the restructure plans themselves. So within Plan and Model, we have the option to set up goals for our plan. So we can only use this if we have the relevant fields coming across from our source of truth, and we've actually built the views or reports that we mentioned before. So in this scenario, we feel that our managers are actually being a little bit overworked and the company is suffering. So our first objective is to have a maximum of 5 direct subordinates per manager across the organisation. But there's also good news. The good news is sales have actually been up, so we have an additional $111,000 in our budget for staff salaries. We're also able to add a tolerance percentage to each objective as well. So also in this example, we just have the 2 objectives. You can add as many objectives as you want to with each plan. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll have a look at a restructure plan in process and watch the tool being used in a live environment. Okay, so this is... All right, so the first thing that I'd like to draw your attention to is the split screen functionality. So just what we're going to do in this scenario is we're going to run an accounts, we're doing an accounts department restructure where we're merging the accounts receivable and the accounts payable department together. So what I've done is I've utilized the split screen functionality, and so that I've got the accounts payable department on one side and the accounts receivable department on the left side. Now what we also have is down the bottom in our lists area, as one of the system lists or default system list is a staging area. Now this is specific to the Plan and Model module, and the whole idea behind the staging area is so that we have an area where we can move employees that we may want to use later, but we don't know what we're going to do yet. So let's have a look to see how this looks. So Plan and Model utilizes very simple and intelligent drag and drop functionality. So we've moved Greg to the staging area. We're now going to move Gail Miller across, and she will now report to Bridget. Now, the intelligent drag and drop comes, so you'll notice in this scenario here we're now moving Bridget across, but Plan and Model recognizes that Bridget has 2 subordinates. So you'll notice in the little drag and drop icon that the subordinates are also coming across as well. So this is just to make sure that we don't end up with issues with broken hierarchy. Okay, so we've moved Bridget across now, so she now reports to ISU. We're happy with that, so we can now remove the split workspace. Now, we haven't forgotten about Greg Ferguson in our staging area, so we're now going to move him from the staging area and we'll get him to report directly to ISU. Now, the other thing that you can do is we can very quickly and easily add assistants, managers and subordinates on the fly. So in this scenario, because ISU now has a larger team, what we're going to do is we're going to give ISU an assistant. So what we can do once we've created that position is we also have full control over the fields, so we can alter the fields on the fly as well. So in this scenario, we're just going to name that role the accounts assistant. So now that we're happy with how the restructure looks, we can now validate using our pre-built views. So in this scenario, we're going to use the budget view. The great thing is because we can add fields on the fly, we can also give our new position a salary, and if we actually have budget for this position, we can also give it a budgeted salary as well. So we can add that. And then what we can do is we have the option to recalculate the formulas, the metrics formulas, so we can see what sort of impact this restructure is going to have on our department's budgets. So you'll notice here that ISU is now slightly in the red. All right, the other thing we can do as well, if we are building say for example, if we're building a call center, for example, and we have quite a few employees with the same position ID or the same position title, Planit Work using the list functionality enables you to edit multiple fields at once on multiple records. So in this scenario, what we're going to do is we're actually creating 3 new roles. They're all going to be analysts. So we're going to alter that field for those 3 new positions, and we can do that just once using this functionality. All right, so what we've done in this scenario too is we've also added some budget information. So we've given each role a salary and also a budgeted salary in this example as well. Okay, so once we've completed our restructure, what we might want to do is we might want to, for example, export this information out to Excel. So you'll notice in this dialog box, when we export to Excel, we've got a range of different options in regards to presentation if we need, but we can also, more importantly, add and delete fields on the fly that we actually want to include on our export. Okay, there's a few other use cases for the Planner module as well. So one of those use cases is actually creating what-if scenarios. So in this example, we're going to have a look at the impact on our budgets if we gave our managers earning 100k plus a 3% pay rise. So the first thing that we actually need to do is we need to find all of our managers across the organisation that are earning 100k plus. So in order to do this, Planit Work allows you to create smart lists. So essentially what a smart list is a list where we can build in as many filters that we want to. So in this case, we're just looking for managers, employees that are managers, sorry, and we're also looking for any manager that has a salary greater than $100,000, and we're going to follow all of those rules. Okay, so what we can do from there, we've now got our list of managers. We can highlight all of those, and then we can edit multiple profile fields again all at once. So what we can do with numerical fields is we can actually change those fields to represent a formula. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to times all of those salaries by 1.03 to show us what the result of our budgets would be after the 3% pay rise. And there we have it. Okay, so that's will hopefully give you a little bit of a snapshot as to what is capable utilising the plan and model module within Planit Work. Okay, all right. So key takeaways for our webinar today. So. Full access control for easy, secure collaboration. This is very important, making sure that all of our plans are under one secure location and that the right people have the correct access to those plans. So the modelling itself is very simple and very easy to use, and also enables you to create what-if scenarios and what-if planning. Easy visualisation of your organisation. The fact that you can access these plans anytime via a secure logon, and keeping all the plans in the same secure location. Okay, so that's all we have for you today. So please please let us know if you have any questions just on the chat window there, and we'll go through them with you.
So if you have any questions, you can just type them into that Q&A panel just down the bottom of your screen.
So we've got a couple of questions here already. So the first question I have, not quite related to Restructures itself, but the question is, can the automated data refreshes work for Org Plus? So the simple answer to that is you can use the adapter to extract the fields out of Org Plus. But because Org Plus is a desktop product, it is quite hard to actually automate that process, considering that the computer would have to be essentially running all of the time. So it's not something that can be done easily. Planit Work, however, makes that option a lot easier and works a lot better. Okay, so the second question I have is, does Org Plus have this restructure functionality? So the simple answer to that is no, it doesn't have any additional modules specifically for restructures, but you can essentially create a restructure from scratch using Org Plus, but it really isn't the correct tool for restructures. Okay, we've got time for one more question. So, can we manually maintain a divisional mapping table with Navigo? I might actually need to come back to you offline for that question there, Michael. So I'm due to give you a call shortly, so I'll make sure I do that. And then lastly, what is the average cost of Planit Work module if we already use Org Plus? So the Planning at Work tool is actually different to Org Plus. Org Plus is a desktop tool, whereas Planit Work is a cloud-based enterprise version of Org Plus. So it's actually a completely different tool. But what I can do, Jackie, thank you for asking the question, is I'll come back to you offline in regards to costs, etc. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for your questions and your attendance today.
Awesome. Thanks for that, everyone. And remember, if you do have any questions about Planning at Work, feel free to shoot us an email. The easiest one is info@navigo.com.au, where Grant will be able to get back to you with any more specific questions you've got. Thanks, everyone, for coming along.
Thank you.